Hey guys, Trevor Holt here. Welcome to another Who Are We episode. I got special guest with me, Andreea. How are you today?
Hey Trevor, I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Thanks for joining us today. Just a quick disclosure: we're just recording this episode. We put it on YouTube and maybe put some promotional material on LinkedIn or other social medias just to try and raise a bit of awareness and hopefully get other people to inspire to look at who they are and what they want out of life as well. So nothing too serious, but we'll get straight into it. And who is Andreea and what does she stand for?
Hi, so my name is Andreea Park. The full name is Andreea Parcalaboiu. I'm originally from Romania, but the name is too long for pronunciation in the English language, so I go by Park, which is the first four letter of my last name. I am a writer and a mindset coach. I help women attorneys and other high-achieving professionals who go through tough times in life, including facing white-collar crimes in the U.S. To basically overcome with grace and move on powerfully in life. I draw from my personal experience. I'm a former attorney in New York who spent almost 3 years in prison for a white-collar crime. And I understood that life is a mental game. And I came up with a formula how to keep my mind straight and to basically get ease in life regardless, because life just happens for everybody. And the only thing that we can control in life, and that's power. That if we understand that the only thing that we control in life is our mind, that's what's very important. And what I stand for is acceptance and forgiveness and grace and generosity and defenselessness and all the good values, authenticity in life, because change is healing. So if we change our minds, we can heal our lives.
Yeah,
so this is who I am.
Yeah, that's amazing. And Romania, that's interesting. I don't think we've had anyone from Romania before. Yeah, so I'm just trying to do a bit of a verify. So white collar crimes is something that you resonate with and something that you're working with and experienced firsthand. Do you want to go into what that means? What does that term mean?
Yes, of course. So the charge that I had was asylum fraud. So part of my general practice, I had about 25% of immigration law. And because I'm from Romania and I'm an immigrant, I wanted to help immigrants, and that's the reason why I was practicing immigration law. And asylum law is, I was talking to a gentleman the other day and he was very confused what asylum was. And he asked me if it's that place where cuckoo people go. I said, no. No, it's, so basically when people are persecuted in their home countries, they're allowed to file for asylum in the US. And they get paperwork in the US and eventually a path to citizenship. So this is what I was charged for as a fraud. In general, white-collar crimes are fraud, embezzlement, things that professionals in general tend to commit, not necessarily intentionally, but when you are caught up in business and running a business and trying to make it and to be successful, sometimes things happen and we go into cutting corners and doing things that the government doesn't like. And
Yes.
this is a white collar crime, yes. And
Yeah, so it's nothing major. It's not like a stabbing or a murder. It's a misdemeanor. I think famously, I think recently was it Donald Trump was he exaggerating his finances or something there in was it New York not long ago?
Yes, New York. Yes. Actually, it was the same court where I was tried. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now you're working as a mindset coach, and you used your experience in your professional life and your experience with the white collar crime, and that to accept and move on is what you're saying, is trying to accept where you're at in life and accept what happened and just put it behind you and move forward. Is that basically what?
Yes. Actually, it's acceptance and forgiveness comes in 2 steps. And it took me a while to understand and go past that. So first of all, it's acceptance of what happened, which is kind of easy to accept and forgive. But then it's the acceptance and forgiveness of the self.
Yeah.
And that is a little bit harder to do, but I was able to pass that and to move forward powerfully. And this is what I'm teaching people. I'm also an author. I told you that I'm a author, so I have my book, which is my memoir.
Really?
Experience. Yes.
Yeah.
And this is the second book. This is the I told you that I came up with a technique to keep my mind straight and because in prison it's not easy to not fall into shame and guilt and all the negative emotions that the mind, the ego creates. So this technique is called Apple. That has nothing to do with the fruit or the phone, and it stands for awareness, perspective, presence, letting go, and empowerment. And this is what I'm taking my clients from awareness to empowerment, because again, the only thing that we can control in life is our mind. And if we learn how to take control of our thoughts, feelings and actions, then we change and we heal our lives.
Yeah, because I suppose the main one that I'm picking up there is I suppose, and you mentioned it there, it's the guilt and probably even embarrassment of what other people might think of you now after going through that experience. Is that probably the biggest hurdle that you have to jump through?
Yes. So basically in today's society, when we have everything at the tip of our fingers and everything happens in the split second, you press a button and you get the answer, being in prison with nothing to do and all the time in the world, of course that the mind it's free to go crazy. And of course that guilt and shame and thinking of your family that you left behind, especially for women. That most so it's sad to say that the US has most of incarcerated people out of all the countries in the world.
Yeah.
And women, 80% of women that are incarcerated are mothers and single mothers. And of course, it's hard for a woman to be there and not be able to take care of your children. And most of the time, the crimes that people commit are to take care of somebody. And that's what I'm working on when I speak about this, is how society sees people. Because society sees us, a felon, a convicted felon, spend time in prison, but people don't see the other side. There are no bad people.
Yeah.
They're just people that went through things. And humanity, we would understand each other more and know where people are coming from, then would be much easier to forgive ourselves and forgive the others.
And I think as society, as like you say, like people don't do things because they want to be embarrassed and ashamed and feel guilty about themselves. They're generally doing it, like you say, to create a better life for someone else, or to put food on their table, or whatever else. So it's an interesting point that you make. That and you said specifically you're working with women along that because I suppose you're relating with that child and that mother instinct, as well as the family sort of side of it as well, and so you're focused on helping women that have been involved in these sort of situations.
Yes, and primarily women attorneys, because it's very interesting that while writing my book, I realized that when I got to Danbury, Connecticut, at the camp, where basically the camp is the lowest security, where most white-collar crimes people go. So when I got there, out of 180 women, 12 were attorneys.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, yeah.
So the percentage of attorneys, women attorneys, convicted is huge.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I mainly work with women attorneys.
And you were saying that not necessarily intentional either. Some of these things, they're sort of, sometimes they could be just professional mistakes, I suppose. Is that what you're saying? That could lead to you?
That's true. Yes, especially that we attorneys are held at a higher standard.
Yeah.
Because of our profession. So basically, yeah.
Can you explain? I'm not sure. Like, I'm a simple man. An attorney, is it similar to a lawyer? Is it, or is there?
Yes. It's the same thing. Yes. We're representing people in front of courts. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. And so you've wrote a couple of books about it, and you're focusing on helping women, in particular attorneys, overcome the guilt and the shame and trying to move past the acceptance and forgiveness of themselves more than anything. And how does that journey look for them? How are you working with these people? Is it face to face, or what's the process, or why these sort of Zoom meetings, or how does it work?
Yeah, most of them are Zoom meetings. Yes, yeah. Of course, for people that are, because in this world where Zoom, it's everywhere, we can basically be in any corner of the US or the world for that matter. But if there are people in New York where we can meet in person, of course we meet in person. It's a totally different experience to see each other in person, and it's very empowering to see, for somebody that goes through this excruciating experience where at the level of the mind you lose everything. um, it's very heartwarming to see that somebody else went through it and came out on the other side much better than it went in.
Yeah.
Because
I think in Australia, for example, if you get a conviction, then sometimes the judge or the court sort of record that conviction, and it can lead to negative outcomes in certain employment opportunities. So sometimes the doors of success get shut from that sort of situation. Is it similar there in the US? It can be held up, I think, up to 10 years here in Australia before it's spent. Is it a similar sort of thing over there?
It would be wonderful if in the US would be 10 years, but in the US it's for life.
Is it? Yeah.
So it's hard. Once you have a felony in the US, it's really, really hard to find employment.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why probably 80% of people that were professionals before and convicted of white-collar crimes, 80% after the conviction, they start their own business. Because it's much easier to run your own show than to work for somebody else, because unless they know you and it's a different relationship, but that's the reason why entrepreneurship in the formerly convicted is very high.
Very high, yeah. And it's interesting. It's interesting, I suppose, that it is for life there in America, but that mindset that you talk about, because it would be very difficult for professionals, because I assume that there's been a large degree to become an attorney in particular. There's a large amount of education or qualifications or some sort of college process that you have to go through over 4 whatever years or whatever, and going through all them sort of boxes to get into that profession in the first place, and a lot of dedication and hard work to get in and do it. And then once you're convicted, then all that hard work is like thrown in the bin. I suppose that could lead to like, well, wasted my life, or depression, and not to say if you can't get employment, then it's just a spiraling effect, is it? You feel?
It is. So to become an attorney, it's about 8 years. It's 4 years college, 3 years the law school, and then by the time you pass the bar and become admitted, it's about 8 years.
Yeah.
For me, it was a little different because I came in the US as an attorney from Romania, and I only took the master's program for attorneys to be allowed to sit for the bar.
Okay.
But still, it took me 4 years to pass the bar.
Yeah.
So more or less about the same thing, yes. And I basically lost everything that I had worked for 20 years.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, it's quite so. So coming from Romania, so that's the Balkans, is it? Not much of a history thing.
It's in Eastern Europe, yes.
Yeah, Eastern Europe. Yeah. And is that did you flee wars? Because there's a lot of wars in that zone, or was it a peaceful when you went to America?
No, very, very peaceful.
Was it? Yeah.
Very peaceful. Yes.
Yeah.
When the communism, it used to be a communist country, but that went away a long time ago, in 1989. I'm sorry, 1989. I came to the States in 1998, and peaceful country, and now it's gorgeous.
Yeah. And then so you went through all that effort, and you got accredited, and you set up in a new country. Made some mistakes, I suppose we can call it, and then you've lost everything, started again because of the difficulties in finding employment. You become sort of entrepreneurial, And how was that journey, I suppose, in building the confidence up and that sort of thing to move forward? I suppose that's why you're sort of promoting it, because obviously you've taken a lot of strength and a lot of resilience to sort of move into that field, I suppose, do you think?
Yes. So I came to the States when I was 22, fresh out of law school in Romania. And I started the business here, and I went to law school, and I had my own practice. So basically, I've never worked for anybody. It was me. So I've been probably, I would call myself entrepreneurial since I was young. And after I thought I lost everything, I realized that since I'm still breathing, I can do it all over again.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything. It's just material things that I've done it the first time, I can do it again.
Yeah.
The worst pain was what my daughter went through, because when I went away, she was 15.
15, yeah. And did she have to go into any care, or was it other family helped out, or how did that work?
Family. Yes, we had family, but we were very close, and we're still very close, and that was super painful for her. And probably without her, my suffering wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
And I understand women that go through that the pain and suffering for their children is bigger than for their own.
So, yeah. And do you feel like, for example, there'll be some women out there that are going through that circumstance without that family support, and they probably end up them children in some sort of foster care system, I suppose, or some sort of, I don't know how it works here in America, but the kids are actually taken into government care or something like that. Probably. Is that how it works over there? Some women like that?
Yes. And that is, that's not a fun experience either for the parent incarcerated or the child.
Yeah.
But yes, of course, I can't deny there are situations like that. And that's the reason why I'm doing this work, to help both parents who are going through this and children.
Yeah.
I am actually working on starting a podcast with my daughter.
I really.
Yes, exactly to help people and children, teenagers that go through trauma like this, to see that we went through it, and anybody can overcome with grace and move on powerfully.
Yeah. And that's a great message, with grace and move on powerfully. Like, you're not, I think the saying is, like, because I've done, mental health and counselling and all that. I think one of the things is you aren't what you do. You can do something that doesn't define you, does it? You can do something bad, and that's just something that you've done, or it doesn't mean that's who you are. You know what I mean? So you get to define who you are.
Clear. Yeah, nothing defines who we are.
Yeah.
It's just the mind. We see, we create what we have inside.
Yeah.
This is a mental world.
Yeah.
What we see is what we create. So if we inside we are forgiving and peaceful, that's the world that we're creating on the outside, the image we create.
And if you're angry, bitter and twisted or something, then suddenly the world's angry, bitter, twisted back at you, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I call changing the mind is healing. And we heal by changing our minds. We heal ourselves, and we heal the world.
Yeah, and that's amazing, because some of the other things you've got to hear is, generosity, because you listed so many things I couldn't keep up with you, but generosity, or authenticity, all the good sort of descriptive things of human nature, I suppose, is what you stand for, and is just trying to spread that love, and it must be brave, I suppose. I feel that what the message that you're sending, it's a very brave message, because no one wants to put a neon sign over their head and say, I'm a felon, or I've done white collar crime. to me seems like traditionally or generally people would try and put in a closet and ignore it, but you're out there openly talking about it. That must take some courage, and obviously you must feel that it's helping other people.
Yes, clearly. There is no shame in our past.
Yep.
We all made mistakes because we're human.
Yeah.
And judging the other for their past or for their actions doesn't help us or doesn't help humanity in general.
Yeah.
So why not speak about it? Because so many people feel their shame and guilt, and there is no shame in past experiences. It's just an experience, and we can change the way we see it. That's the reason why the second piece, perspective. How do you change the way you see things?
Yeah.
Change is healing again.
Yeah, and it's just such a powerful message. So generally, how are people finding you, or is it what's your promotional type strategy that you got, or how you finding how your clients finding you?
It's through social media, through social media, through books, through presentations to law firms.
Yeah.
Because I'm a former attorney, I know a lot of attorneys.
Yeah.
And I do presentations with my work in law firms, and I work with criminal defense attorneys.
Yeah.
And this is how I spread the word. And of course, people, when they are at their lowest points, they reach out, because when it's sad that people only change their minds when the pain is over 95%.
Yeah. And I suppose, because in Australia, and I know America is very similar, I don't know what the numbers are in America, but on average, 9 people per day in Australia, and we're a very small population compared to America, but 9 people per day can't handle it and die by suicide for various reasons. And it's quite sad, I suppose. So having the courage for you to talk about these issues and say, look, this is just something that happened to me. It's not me, and I can move on, and it's okay. And I like the way you use the word empowering. Like you're not just hiding it in the closet. You're highlighting it, and you're moving forward and empowering and actually using it to create your income, your experience, and helping others in a positive way. So not only just empowering, but also it's inspiring as well, I suppose. I feel that's that's beneficial for society. I'd like to thank you for having the courage to do that. So it's amazing.
Thank you very much. Yes, and again, I'm doing it. Everything in life happens for a reason. And I feel that the reason is for me to use the experience to help other people. And this is why I'm doing this work. And this is why I'm here to help other people who go through this and their children.
Yeah, and you're doing it with such grace and code that I can see the passion, through the screen. You got a big smile there and doing it, and it sounds like you're doing an amazing job. And and again, I like to thank you for doing it. And I'm sorry that you had to go through such a negative experience to find your calling in life. And I think I say this a lot to people. It'd be really good to try and help people not have to go through the pain, but it seems to me that a lot of the time we get inspired for change because it hurts so much that we have to, I suppose, and that was a message that you brought earlier. So I'd like to thank you for all your work that you've done, and sorry for the experience that you had, but it sounds like you're doing some really great things and helping a lot of people. Have you got any final messages or any last little gems, or you want to do any plugs or anything before we go?
No, I would like people who are our listeners, to follow me and read what I'm doing. I'm putting a lot of information out there for people to find their own peace and ease in life, because life happens to everybody. And I have the books, I have everything, it's online. So please, I ask people to follow me and see what I'm doing. And if you resonate, just give me a call and we'll talk.
Yeah. So people can reach out on LinkedIn or Facebook and all the general
Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Yes. My website, andreapark.com. All of my books are on Amazon. Yes.
Yeah. So if you want to email through some links or something, we'll put some promotional stuff on there when we put some of these shorts up or whatever. We could supply you some shorts and you can plug it away and whatever. So, but again, like, just, it's amazing, really, I suppose, because there's a lot of embarrassment, I think, or like you say, people hiding things in the closet. But you've been so honest and open, and I think one of the words you used was authentic, and I can see that about you. You know, it's and it's amazing, and I can see, you know, and hear your Romanian, you know, cultural strength, you know, that resonates through the screen as well. And I'm hoping, you know, that a lot of you know, your family you talk about are proud of, you know, what you're doing and where you're coming from, and hopefully, you know, everyone's you know, healing and moving forward. You talk about doing a podcast with your daughter, and you know, that would be amazing to see, and all that sort of stuff. So I wish you all the best, and hopefully we can get some followers and get some more people hearing your story and being inspired to reach out to move forward.
Thank you so much, and thank you very much for having me, and congratulations for the great work that you are doing.
No, that's fine. Thank you. I'm just a humble message service, and hopefully, yeah, and that's what it's about, I suppose. The more people we can get talking about who they are, I feel, you know, and like you say, accepting who they are and acknowledging it and talking about it can help inspire other people, acknowledge who they are, and even if they don't know, you know, what they stand for, they may just ask the question themselves, because it is quite complicated, I suppose, and a lot of people can't answer, you know, who they are or what they stand for, because they can be intimidated by it themselves. So, you know, like I really do, you know, thank your courage, and hopefully we can inspire some other people to reflect on that and look in the mirror themselves. So, yeah, no, that'd be great. Thank you very much, eh?
Yes, thank you. Take care.
And don't forget to stay in touch, and we'll probably, you know, catch up later on and see how you're going.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. We are connected on LinkedIn, so I'm following everything that you're doing. Yes.
Don't follow it too close. I get a bit of mischief on there. No, I thank you very much. Have a good one. That's it. Bye.
You too. Take care. Thank you.